Hello YouTube, it's Friday, October 20th, 2023, 4:41 p.m. and today's been largely a waste of a day. I've spent most of my day in bed. I slept really hard. Had some really intense dreams that now I can't really remember. Those kind of dreams where I feel like I'm living a completely different life in a completely different place, surrounded by completely different people, and I can't think of any other way to really sum it up. I do distinctly remember some kind of a junk store that was talking about an auction, publicizing an auction coming up, and then being with friends and looking through the window and telling them that as a collector of vintage audio video stuff, that I couldn't see anything through the window of value whatsoever. Anyway, yeah, not a whole lot to say really. I went to Wells Fargo Bank. Yeah, that was pretty much awful. Went to the nearest branch to me, the one over at 44th Street in Thomas, and there was a long line for the drive-up ATM. I'm not sure why they only have one single drive-up ATM. It would seem like they would have more, since they've completely closed down the drive-up tellers. Do you think they would replace the space that was taken up by the drive-through tellers with drive-through ATMs? But no, that's just wasted space at this point. So I parked and I went up to the walk-up ATM. Well, initially I was going to use the ATM in the vestibule just to get out of the heat. By the way, another high temperature record-breaking day. It's 104 right now, which is absolutely ludicrously hot for October 10th. This is the record. I think we beat the record by like 2 degrees. I think the former record was in 2003. I think that's what they said on KTAR. So we beat the heat record today, and they also said that the average temperature for this date, the average high temperature is 88 degrees. So yeah, we should be down in the 80s. I shouldn't be sweating in my car like this because of course the air, if I turn on the air, it still overheats. I went on a Chevy Bolt. It's not often I see those outside of work. So, as I was saying, so yeah, still very hot today. It's been really unseasonably hot all week long. So I'm pretty uncomfortable, to put it mildly. So yeah, I want to go into the vestibule to use the ATM and the air conditioning. And I was shocked to see that they've completely removed the ATM that was inside the vestibule. Used to be when you went into the vestibule, there was a space to the left that, like an opening to the left that goes into the bank lobby. And then straight ahead, there was a night deposit, which I think is still there, where you can, if you've got a pre-made deposit in the deposit bag or whatever, like businesses use, you can drop it there. And there was an ATM to the right. For whatever reason, that ATM is completely gone. So I walked out, begrudgingly intending to use the ATM outside, which is in direct sunlight, so it's very difficult to see the screen on the damn thing. Plus, I'm standing at 104 degree heat with the sun beating down on me, but whatever, I think I can tough it out and get $120 out. And no, it's out of order. And I guess it said on the screen it was out of order, but I couldn't really see the screen. I wasn't trying to focus on the screen yet. I was just trying to put my card in the hole, and the card wouldn't go in the hole. So, yeah, that sucked. Popped back into the vestibule to see how busy the bank branch is, thinking, well, maybe I can just, go make a cash withdrawal from a teller. And the line through switchbacks just completely filled the lobby. That bank branch has become an absolute shit show most of the time. And of course, it's a Friday, so it was probably about 4:15 when I went there. So what the hell do I expect, right? Anyway, I contemplated walking to the drive-up teller, because I've used the drive-up teller before on foot. I mean, they have no functioning walk-up ATM, so what's a pedestrian supposed to do? Granted, I have my car, but I mean, what's a pedestrian supposed to do? Well, because I was not in my car at the time. Wow, quite the fancy new build going in on the left. Except it's all wood. Most of the houses in this neighborhood are cinder block, so that's lame. Yeah, the line of cars waiting for it was so long there wasn't even room to get in the line with my car. At which point I'm like, yeah, I'm not sitting through that. Not in this heat, not without air conditioning in my car. So I drove to the ATMs over by Harbor Freight at 32nd Street. One thing that really caught my eye, and I haven't been out and about much. For the most part, I've just been laying low at home, or I've been at work, or I've been going back and forth. My money situation is terrible. I don't have any money to spend. I'm just really behind on my vlog, so I'm just living super cheap, eating off food that I got with my EBT card, and editing my vlog. That's about all I do outside of work lately. I don't know that I'm really catching up, but I've been pretty steadily staying at 1 month behind since the beginning of this month, so that's something. At least I'm not getting more substantially behind on it. So, and I'm shooting a lot less video, so eventually that'll catch me up, right? So, when I went to the, wow, there was a big vehicle in the front of the Costco, said the massage mobile. I wonder what that's about. Just thinking I could really use a massage. So, I haven't been as observant of homeless people, with the obvious exception of last week when I went to have dinner down at the Zone, since I was in that general area of town already. So, yeah, I couldn't help but notice as I was driving today that while the city of Phoenix has done a really good job of getting the large amounts of homeless people out of Pierce Park, they're not doing anything, and neither is the security doing anything along the front area of Arcadia Crossing Shopping Center. The space between the little short wall that kind of obstructs the giant sea of parking from the sidewalk, the space between that and the curb, which includes a sidewalk on 44th Street, between Oak Street and Thomas, is pretty ridiculous. There's just a large amount of homeless people there hanging out, some of them flying signs like at the intersection by the Taco Bell, and it's pretty awful. I also noticed quite a few in the shade of the building by the Harbor Freight as I was using the ATM. Anyway, I called Rob. He told me to worry about the money tomorrow. In fact, he almost went as far as, I think at one point he said, hey, don't even worry about giving me money this month, dude. Just don't lose your place. So I did talk to him about about how I had got a card on my Benz, talking about cash for junk cars. And I told him it's like, you know, and he's like, well, you'd only get like $500 for the Benz. I said, well, I'm not really concerned about getting rid of the Benz. I said, the Benz is worth more money to me, parting it out on eBay when I get around to doing that. So, but I'd like to get rid of my green Honda Civic. I got a 97 four-door Honda Civic, which used to run. I don't really remember what the deal was with it. I think it just was regularly, same kind of issue I'm having with this car, just regularly overheating, and I couldn't keep the air conditioning cool. And I stopped driving it the summer that I picked up the wrecked Lexus, because the wrecked Lexus drove really good and had ice cold air conditioning. But it was a drivable car up to that point, aside from the fact it liked to overheat a lot. But yeah, we never got back to doing anything with that car. And then my Lexus, it has electrical issues, and pretty much what Rob has told me on that is that there's just simply no fixing that, because the part it needs is like part of a wiring harness that just wears out. It's a 97 Lexus, and he said all of them of that era have that same problem. So when he does find that part in a junkyard, it has the same issue that mine has. So it's kind of he's just absolutely convinced he can't get that car fixed. So I'm kind of bummed, but there's so much body damage on that Lexus that it's not really worth putting a lot of effort into fixing. But yeah, if I can sell it as a junk car, even if I just get a few $100s of it, like $300 would be the difference between me being able to pay my bills this month and not being able to pay my bills this month. So anyway, he said he'd call me tomorrow, talk about it, try to figure something out, that he has people he can contact about that on Monday. So hopefully that'll work out. So this ended up being just a drive to the ATM for nothing. But it's miserably hot outside. I'm just going back into my air conditioning and back to editing my vlog. But I thought I'd shoot a little video and just say what I'm doing for my Friday, October 20th. Not such a great day. But it could be a lot worse. I could be one of those homeless people on 44th Street. Or trying to get out of the sun and the heat and the shade at the side of Harbor Freight. So at least I should be thankful I still have a home and some food inside my home. And 2 cats that really love me. That's worth something.